Hey boys and girls, it's Mrs. Walker. For our lesson today, we're going to talk about how we can subtract when we have zeros in our tens and ones place. So our learning goal for today says I can subtract from multiples of 100 and from numbers with 0 in the tens place. Okay, so you kind of have to look at it a little bit differently, but don't worry, I'm going to teach you a pretty cool strategy that I think will help you out. So the materials that you'll need are a dry erase board and a place value chart. Remember, if you don't have a place value chart, you can just draw one. All right, so we're going to start with 402 minus 231. So here we have a 0 in the tens place. So we're going to model this on our place value chart. We're also going to relate it to our vertical standard form. Now remember, when you're subtracting, you're always modeling the whole on your place value chart. So we're going to model 402. So 402 would be 4 hundreds and 2 ones. Now typically I'm going to start in the ones place, right? Well, I have 2 ones and I'm going to take away 1. Oh, I have enough. Okay, so I can just cross that off. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Then I would come to the tens place. Well, I don't have any tens, but I have to subtract 3. So I'm going to go over to this 100 right here, and I'm going to decompose it because 100 equals how many tens? Can you guys tell me? Help me out. Yeah, 10 tens. Okay, so now let's model what we just did on our place value, our vertical form. So now we have 3 hundreds and 10 tens. So now I have enough to subtract 3. So 1, 2, 3. See ya. Now I'm left with 7 tens. Now I go to my hundreds place. I have 3. I need to take away 2. I could do that. 1, 2, and I'm left with 100. So 402 minus 231 equals 171. Now remember, we can prove our answer by adding the parts to see if they equal the whole. This is always an important step to check your subtraction. So let's add those two parts, 231 plus 171. If we get 402, then we solved our subtraction problem correctly. So we start in the ones place. 1 plus 1 is 2. We go to the tens place. 7 plus 3 tens is 10 tens, which we know is 100. And then add our hundreds place, which is 4. So 402 does match 402, so we got the correct answer. Well done. All right, now you guys are actually going to get to practice this one. You're going to solve using a math drawing in the vertical standard algorithm. So pause the video, solve this problem, and then click play when you're ready to go over it together. All right, friends, make sure to pause if you need more time. All right, so here's my place value chart. Remember, again, we start with modeling 908 on our place value chart. We start on our ones place, 8. I have 8 ones, I have to take away 0. Oh, that's pretty easy. So then I'm just left with 8. Move over to the tens place. We have no tens, so we need to decompose 100 into 10 tens. Model that on our vertical form. Now we're left with 8 tens, or 8 hundreds and 10 ones. Now we can subtract 2 tens, then we're left with 8 tens. Move over to our hundreds place. 8 minus 1 is 7. So 908 minus 102, or 120, equals 788. All right, so you're going to prove your answer, friends, by adding the parts to see if they equal the whole. Okay, you got to prove it. You got to show that your work is correct. So go ahead and pause the video. Add the two parts together to see if you get the whole of 908. Once you finish, click play, and we'll go over it together. All right, so friends, make sure you pause if you need more time. All right, add the ones place first. 0 plus 8 is 8. 2 plus 8 is 10, so we model that as 0 tens, because it's 10 tens, so we model that as 0 tens and 100. Add our hundreds place, and we get 9. So they do match. You guys did it. Great job, friends. Okay. What do you notice about the whole and what we need to do to maybe help make it easier for us to subtract? Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but when I look, let me step back here. When I look at that 800, there's a 0 in the ones and the tens place. So that tells me that I don't have anything in those places to help me subtract. So because I don't have that, right from the get-go, we can say, you know what? Let's take one of those hundreds and decompose it, okay? Now, in order for us to do that, the we would have 10 tens, right? 100 is the same as 10 tens. But I still don't have any ones. So I could take one of those tens from the 10 tens and move it right into the ones place automatically. So let me show you what I mean by that. So we would model 800. I'm going to take this 100, and instead of just 10 tens, I'm going to do 9 tens and 10 ones. Now I'm going to do all of that in one step because let's count what I have here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And then I'm going to jump over to my ones. So 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. And that's that 100 that I decomposed. So instead of moving it straight to 10 tens, I just took one of those 10 tens and made it 10 ones. So now I don't have to anymore do any more decomposing once I start this problem. I should be good to go now. So let's model what we did here. So now we have 7 hundreds, we have 9 tens, and 10 ones. Now we can subtract. So move to our ones place, 10 minus 3, we're left with 7. 9 minus 6 in the tens place, let's take away 6, and we're left with 3. Move to the hundreds place, and 7 minus 4 is 3. So 800 minus 463 equals 337. Now remember, we can prove it by adding those parts. So let's add those parts real quick. So 7 plus 3 is 10. 6 plus 3 plus 1 is another 10. And 4 plus 3 plus 1 is 8. So 800, they match. We did it. Awesome. All right. Would you like to learn another strategy to subtract with zeros? This is another cool trick. Okay. So when you can use this trick or this strategy whenever you have those 2 zeros like that. If you have 2 zeros in the ones and the tens place, okay? You can't have a 0 only in the tens place to use this strategy. It's got to be in both places, the tens and the ones. So we're going to take 800 and I'm going to subtract 1 from 800. That turns into 799, right? Then I'm just going to move this over, 463. Now I don't have to decompose any more in this problem. So 9 minus 3 is 6, 9 minus 6 is 3, and 7 minus 4 is 3. Now, I'm not done yet because I subtracted 1. Now I have to add that 1 back in to make them back to the same problem. So you subtract 1 to start with, and then you add it back in at the end. So now I'm left with 337. And look, those match. So whenever you have that double 0, subtract 1 and then add it back in at the end, and it'll be so much easier. So give that strategy a try today. All right, friends, you guys are going to use one of the strategies to solve this problem. So use a math drawing and a vertical standard algorithm. You can also use that new strategy that I just taught you as well. Just make sure that you use that also just to check your work. Okay, so pause the video, solve this, and then click play when you're ready to go over it together. All right, friends, so here we have our place value chart, our vertical form. Start by modeling your 600 first. We're going to take this and decompose it, remember? And we're going to turn it into 9 tens and 10 ones. 9 tens plus 10 ones brings us back to our 100 that we decomposed. So let's model that over here. So now we're left with 5 hundreds, 9 tens, and 10 ones. now we can subtract pretty easily. So 10 minus 6 in the ones place would give us 4. In the tens place, 9 minus 1 would leave us with 8. And in the hundreds place, 5 minus 3 would leave us with 2. So 600 minus 316 is 284. Did you guys get that? Okay, awesome. All right, now I want you guys to prove it. Prove your answer to see if your two parts equal the whole. So pause the video, add the two parts that you have, and see if they equal 600. And then click play when you're ready to go over it together. All right, friends, make sure to pause if you need more time. So let's add our two parts, 316 plus 284. So we go to our ones place, 6 plus 4 is 10. 8 plus 1 in our tens place is another 10. And in our hundreds place, 3 plus 2 plus 1 gives us 6. So our 600 match, we got it. All right, good job on that one as well, friends. All right, nice work. You guys did a great job subtracting from multiples of 100 and from numbers with 0 in the tens place. So please head back on over to the module to see what you need to complete for your independent practice. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to help. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye, friends!